Good morning, people. Well, it's now good afternoon. I'm not sure if this is actually working just now. I hope it is. My video this morning, I think that's it, just starting now. I'll start again. Good morning, people, or it's good afternoon now. The quality of my video this morning was really poor, so at popular request, I'm redoing it. Particularly for those people who said, "Oh, I wanted it because it takes me into the weekend and it makes me feel good." So I don't want anyone to miss out. So here I am again, and I'm using the computer this time and not my mobile phone. So hopefully that helps. Anyway, it's a Friday, it's the 17th of April, and it's a fabulous Friday. I decided to make it a feeling fabulous day, and because of that, I dressed in the summer dress and a nice summer stole or a scarf, which is blue, purpley blue, to go with my eyes. And when I awakened this morning, it was really sky blue. It was gorgeous. And I thought, right, that really brightens up everybody's day. Skies are still a bit grey now, but anyway, I'm going to stay bright blue and bright and fabulous. Now, I'm not just talking about outward fabulousness. Yes, you'll learn new words from me every day. I'm talking about inner fabulousness. And as always, I think we want to thank our thoughts and our thanks go to all our frontline staff, all emergency staff, all the care workers, people who are just taking care of others at this time, not just the NHS, right across the board, because these are truly fabulous people. And as we've seen from the money raised by Captain Tom Moore, he is truly fabulous. And I think he's raised at this stage possibly even more than £14 million. And what a hero that is. I mean, he deserves a knighthood. Absolutely fabulous. And I hope he gets so many happy birthday tributes and thanks when it comes to his birthday, which I think is the 30th of April. So on a kind of other note on that, I saw a post saying we don't want to take pressure off the government because maybe they should be putting money into it. So maybe the government should be matching any funding that's being raised by voluntary people doing it voluntarily. Anyway, that's a political note. Don't want to go down that road, and I particularly don't want to enter into any arguments. So back to Fabulous Friday and how fabulous you all are. Now, we all know that beauty is not really on the outside. Beauty is on the inside. But that's all very well when you're growing up, particularly when you're young. If you were bullied, my goodness, I was bullied. I think I've said before, I had orangey red hair, which was carrot tops, I was called. Also, my nose seemed to grow bigger than my body at one point. So that was a piece of my body that people could taunt me with. And it was all very well saying, oh, beauty's on the inside, but it hits hard and it hits home. And it affected me at the time. I do know, I learned that really when bullying people are bullies, they do this because they are insecure and they want to bring you down, which it boosts them up. So I just say to myself now, no more. So when some negative thoughts and feelings come into my head, I get round them by repeating in my head, just into myself, I am beautiful. And it really is helpful. That along with, I feel like I'm a broken record now because it's repetition all the time. But these things do help. You can feel better with yourself. A smile costs you nothing. Saying these things cost you nothing, and you will feel better. So I am beautiful. And I want you all to say this just now. I am beautiful. Now, I must give a shout out to Eddie MacArthur of Stealth Recording Studios Glasgow, because he is the person that keeps a smile on my face when I'm doing my recordings. He's the one he's in a booth, I'm outside. Although he can see me, I really can't particularly see him. I'm focusing on what I'm saying. These are the voiceovers for my Mind Bites. And he says, he'll stop recording and he'll go, smile, you weren't smiling. So even if you're not being seen, even if you're on the telephone or anything where you're speaking that somebody can't see, please smile. It really does make a difference. In fact, Eddie's got such a wit. I remember that He's got some black humour as well, which I have too. I remember doing a meditation, and it was called Boat on a Calm Lake. And I just kind of started doing this boat on a calm lake, and I was testing out on a group of people in an organisation, and I got them all to quieten down, shoulders back, just relax. And of course I started, and the boat was being pushed out onto the calm lake, and I heard, and I had to open my eyes slightly, and I heard this, so I immediately stopped. I brought the boat back onto the beach. Everybody got off the boat, and they were all comfortable again. So I did another meditation. And when I asked the person at the end, I said, I noticed that you'd got quite sort of panicky. She said, I hate the water. So, of course, I said, what if we'd maybe put your boss on that boat? So she laughed. She said, oh, that would have been fine. So, of course, I was sharing this with Eddie, and we were chatting about maybe we should do some black humour videos. Anyway, that's for another time. What I want you to do now is everybody just to smile. Now, I bet you feel better. So, to be and feel fabulous, you also need to love yourself the way you are. And that can be difficult because possibly none of us like the way we are. But, and you might not believe this, but it's sometimes harder for women to do this. There are some men who seem able to love themselves. I'm sure we know some of them, might even be your partners. But anyway, women can do this as well. And what happens is there tends to be an arrogance about them rather than a confidence. So if I'm sort of teaching people to, you've got to feel good and feel confident, just be careful about how you do it, because it's not just to do with the words, it's your tone of voice, your facial expression, your body language, everything about you. It's not just your words. And you probably know some people, there'll be some people that you've met that, in fact, I think in one organisation they were having trouble with what was being said in the team, and there were words being said by two different people. And one person was able to say it, nobody took any offence at it. The other person, they didn't like it. So I was called in to speak to them, and I realised that actually it was more how the others felt. You always get that feeling sometimes like, I don't know if I really like that person, or what they're saying to me, or how they're saying it to me. So the decision was made, and that everybody in the team, they should stop. It doesn't matter whether people didn't mind you saying something or somebody did mind it. Stop doing it, and just to respect everybody. We have to respect everybody when we're working together. So the person who believed he was doing nothing wrong didn't understand what was different, because he said, I'm just doing the same as the other person. So it didn't matter. You just stop. If anything, if people are feeling that there's any offence being taken or there's difficulties, then that behaviour has to stop. And in fact, on bullying, what used to really annoy me was if there was a bully, the organisation, if they were a good organisation, they would quickly comply and get the victim to go to counselling, see that they had home and counselling. Now, that's great. I think they need it. But I think the bully should be left out of the organisation as well. They should be sent, because they're the ones that really have the problem. But that sometimes doesn't happen. Maybe it does, but sometimes it doesn't. What happens? The bully moves on to another department, or even is promoted, and they just continue with their behaviour, believing that they've done nothing wrong. So we need to address both behaviours. We don't want somebody to be a victim, and we certainly don't want bullying, whether in the workplace or in the family. So what do we do when, I think one of the things where we go wrong when we're trying to feel beautiful is we start saying things like, I'll feel really good, I'll feel beautiful if I lose that weight. Or I'll feel really beautiful if I can buy that new dress, and that will really suit me, and that'll make me look really good. So that's the wrong way to go about it, because even if you get that dress, even if you lose that weight, the tendency will be you'll find something else to go wrong. So what you need to be saying is your affirmations that I like myself the way I am. If you can stretch to I love myself the way I am, then that's good. That's an affirmation, and you're using the 3 P's. The P for personal, that's I. The P for positive, that's like myself, like. And the P for the verb in the present tense, I like. It's not the past, it's not the future. So you should be saying just now, I like myself the way I am, or I love myself the way I am. Now, often people will laugh when I tell them to do this. Say, this is silly. And I said, but you're doing this alone. You go somewhere where you're not talking in front of other people. You're maybe going to the bathroom, or you're just saying it in your head. And it's very powerful. The power of the mind is just huge, and people don't realize it. So if you're thinking, I am beautiful, you will actually feel that change in your physiology, and it will become sort of more positive. So the other thing is to visualize yourself. And that's where my short mind bite meditations come in. You're imagining yourself beautiful. You are beautiful. So you have to, of course, also, in order to feel good about yourself, is have your diet, a good diet, and exercise. And I love this, the physical exercise, because I think Carol came on this morning, one of the ladies, and she runs every morning, which is fabulous. But you see, I run too. I run in my head. I've followed it. I've done the 10K. I know what I've done this morning. I do my run round the streets, run round the park, and it's all in my imagination. But you see, I heard somewhere or read somewhere that if you even imagine you're doing the exercise, it can actually tone up your muscles. So that suits me. But I do exercise. I mean, I walk and things, but I'm not doing a 10K. I did it. I think I did that a half marathon years ago, but I'm not doing that again. So I just exercise in my mind and then take short walks, whether that's round the house or just outside in the street, just short walks. That's enough. So we've got to remember that we've got to stay well and stay safe just now. And of course, there are so many people taking care of us, and they will need time to take care of themselves, and they just don't have that just now. So we have to be thankful that if we're not on the frontline workers and we're not doing that, be thankful that we are able to stay safe and stay well. I mean, I find that there's lots of people just now, I think in crisis, it brings out the best, but can also bring out the worst in people. Fortunately, it's just the minority. So please be thankful for who you are, what you have, and what you are. So where do you start feeling fabulous? So how do we start this? And one of the things you can do is be a friend to yourself. Be your best friend. Now, if you have a best friend and a close friend, you wouldn't rip them apart and pick every flaw they have. I mean, you just wouldn't do it as a good friend. So why do it to yourself? So don't think of the flaws you have. Just constantly turn that around and say, do you know, I am beautiful. And if your friend is a close friend, you just wouldn't rip them apart. So why do you do it to yourself? The other things that you should do is not just being a friend to yourself, but in fact, I mentioned earlier, I think in another video, don't compare yourself to others. Because what happens is we tend to compare ourselves to someone who's maybe a movie star, or somebody that's fabulous, or somebody in social media that always looks stunning. There are people who will not post up pictures of themselves looking awful. So don't even look at the ones that are stunning. You are stunning. You are fabulous inside and out. And I must thank all of you for watching and listening, because that actually, it's a two-way thing, this. I feel really good when you respond and you post comments. And in fact, I was laughing at having to do this video a second time. You maybe remember that one of my videos, I talked and absolutely nobody heard anything. And it was only when I finished, one friend, my Irish friends are the ones that come forward, and they said, "You never heard a word." So they must have just enjoyed looking at me. Thank you. Thanks very much. But I did that video again. So just like I'm doing this one just now. So what's the other thing you can do? Again, I've said smile. It's constantly, even if it's fake, just smile. And this is the same for confidence and fabulousness. Sit up straight, shoulders back, smile, and you feel better. And it is actually all about posture. So if you're slumped down, if I was slumping down just now, I'd have you all going, oh no, what's she talking about now? So I need to brighten up, smile, and sit up straight and talk to you this way. I'm hoping it's almost like talking with you as opposed to talking at you. Also, when you're laughing, laughter, all these things are free. laugh at yourself. Please be someone who can laugh at themselves and laugh along with others, never at other people. So the mirror exercise I talk about now, I dealt with people a few years ago, and people who are in a low place in life, and if they've maybe they can be addicts, they can be anything, really depressed. They will not want to look in a mirror, and often they don't want to look in a mirror. And there's a kind of turning point if you get them to think of, in a quiet place on their own, just looking at themselves in a mirror. Now, what I'm not saying here is that, what do? We go into the bathroom, there's a mirror, and you think, oh, no, my hair needs touched up there, and oh, I need that. Oh, what's happened here? I don't mean that kind of looking. When you're looking in a mirror, quietly, on your own, in the bathroom, door locked, nobody else with you, please look at your eyes. They are the window of the soul. And I want you to see, I am beautiful. Do you know, you are really beautiful? I love you. I like you. I like you the way you are. So it's these kind of talk. You're talking to yourself and boosting yourself up. Now, the other thing that you've got to do is start accepting compliments. Oh, what's that like? I mean, I'm one of the worst at that. Imagine you've probably got yourself in this situation. People go, oh, you're looking fabulous today. Or that's a fabulous dress, or that you're just looking stunning. The tendency is to go, oh, it must be my makeup. It must be the dress I'm wearing. And, oh, this is just an old dress. Well, stop all of that. When people say, you look stunning, you look beautiful, just say, thanks. Thank them for this. So start accepting these wonderful compliments. So above all, we've got to remember that looks aren't everything. Now, I know that beauty's an eye of the beholder, but I mean, we have to think that it's not just the outside, it's our inner beauty. So we start, what can help is you make your gratitude list or continue your gratitude list. And thanks, Donna. I can see, thank you very much. I love when comments come in. It really boosts me as well. So if I hope your gratitude list is getting longer, because it should be, because you've got to be thinking about who you are as a person. Be thankful for what you are, who you are, what you have. There's lots of people in worse situations than me, than you, than others. We all have our own lives, but you have yours. So have your gratitude list. And I'm not sure if I said this before, but when we're asked, oh, who are you? What's the tendency? We tend to go, oh, I'm Jeannie's sister. I'm Johnny's mother. Well, I'm the teacher of Maisie. And we tend to tell people what we do rather than who we are. And what I would ask you to do is to say, oh, I'm Pat, or I'm me. Now, these things sort of sound silly, but I was thinking there's many times where I've met hundreds of students over when I've been lecturing, and I've met hundreds of people, and I can't remember. I remember them all sort of facially. I can't remember everybody's name. Now, somebody once told me, if you can't remember a name of somebody, then you're not interested in them. Now, that's just rubbish. We can't remember everybody's name, and particularly if you've dealt with hundreds of people over the years. So what I used to say to people is, if you meet me in the street and you go, oh, hello, and I kind of have that, oh, I wonder who it is, the tendency is I'll focus on trying to find out who, where, why did I know them, how did I know them, rather than thinking and listening to what they're talking about. So what I do, and I've told them to do, is if you meet someone that you haven't seen for a while, you start with your name. So I would say to someone, if I've not met them for ages, I go, oh, hello, I'm Pat. And that immediately stops the embarrassment. It stops that embarrassed moment, and you go off tact and you're thinking, who are they? Who are they? So it makes everybody a bit more comfortable. And then you don't have to think, who's that? And then you turn to your friend later and said, how do I know them? So just try and remember, just introduce yourself again, just with your first name. So that sort of stops the embarrassment. So the other thing, if you want to be beautiful, is live your life to the fullest. Please don't wait. There's no point in waiting for the next, I'll wait till tomorrow, I'll wait till the next day. Now, we talked earlier, I think in another video, and people are doing this. They're writing down things they'd like to do and putting it into a jar. The other thing I talked about, I think, yesterday was have an inspiration board. Now, the jar's great because when all this is over, you can open the jar and look at what you've put in, and it might be dinner with the family. It doesn't need to be something huge. And then you can do that. So that's your kind of bucket list. Your inspiration board, you can stick up on the wall or have it there. It can be a bit of paper. It doesn't matter. You can create your own inspiring things to do when this is all over. So, and you can imagine when you're looking at these things, the board, the inspiration board, you imagine you're actually there. So you've got that holiday planned and you can imagine yourself there. You're on the sand. So the time to look is the now. And then once it's all over, hopefully, if everything gets back to normal, I don't think it'll ever be quite normal, but it might be a better place to live in, then you can carry out some of the things that you've put on your inspiration board or in your jar of your bucket list. So I was thinking today now, there's always the beauty of nature. So in fact, I always try and end with a Mind Bites meditation. So what I thought we'd do is that we'd have a meditation on the Mind Bites on changing seasons, because I was thinking it's changing times just now, and this meditation helps. It's very effective when you need to face change calmly and you want to feel beautiful inside and out. So I think the changing seasons brings in a bit of nature and how nature is beautiful and blends. So if we just want to sit nicely and relaxed, but shoulders back, so that you're with your feet grounded, sitting in a chair, your feet grounded, then you will really feel good and you'll be relaxed. And I want you to close your eyes. Now close your eyes now, and I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose, hold, and then exhale. Now you do that to the count of 3. You can do another deep breath in, hold, and then exhale. Now I want you to imagine yourself in a lovely garden. There are beautiful flowers all around. Take a moment to admire the glorious colours, the beauty of nature. Imagine your favourite flower. Smell the scent. Feel the softness of the petals. Now imagine the garden in changing seasons. Spring. Nature is coming to life. Warmth is in the air. Sunlight opens buds into leaves and flowers. Summer arrives. The heat of the sun shines down on the flowers, opening their petals to face the warmth. Autumn. The leaves turn from luscious green to pale gold and then dark red. The autumn leaves fall from the trees and winter arrives, covering the ground with a dusting of snow. Take a deep breath in, hold, and then exhale. Imagine the changing seasons. Imagine the changing of the colours. These are the colours of nature. Slowly open your eyes and say, I feel confident. I am beautiful. I can face change calmly. Now, I hope you've enjoyed that. I know that's my second attempt today. I hope it hasn't stilted and stopped with the video. It's all been a bit awkward this morning, and I'm probably a bit more windblown. I had to go out between the first video this morning and this one. But I don't do my videos over Saturday and Sunday. It's giving a rest from me. But I do hope you continue with my ABC core techniques and use my Mind Bites videos, my meditations. They're short and easy to use. I hope this has inspired you and takes you into a fabulous weekend. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll be back on Monday. Now, I haven't got a title for Monday. So if you've got a suggestion for a title for Monday's video, the live video, then anything positive, hopefully, starting with M, then I think the title I choose, the person deserves to have an hour of my time. Now, I've got to clarify that. I said that originally, and that could be misinterpreted. I meant a virtual hour of my time, mentoring or chatting about any topic you want. So thank you again, and virtual hugs to everybody. Thank you.